So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the new AirPod Pros that are coming out. We're going to be referencing a Bloomberg article that came out recently that kind of details what Apple has planned for actually two new entries into the AirPod Pro family at base entry level and the actual successor to the AirPod Pros. So without further ado, let's just get right into the article and let's react to some of that information that's being released to the public. So the article basically says that the Cupertino, California-based technology giant is working on two new models, third generation entry-level AirPods, and the second version of the AirPod Pros themselves. Now, the article also mentions that Apple is actually in the process of maybe releasing a middle tier HomePod speaker. So right now they have that HomePod Mini that was recently just announced, and they have the HomePod, which was that main expensive one. So something akin to what Google is doing with their Google speaker, where they have like the Google Nest Minis and now the Google new Audio Nest that they released at $100. And then they have like the Google Home Max, which is their maxed out $400 speaker. Apple's looking to tier their speakers just like that as well. And it looks like they may be trying to tier their headphones similar to that as well. And by the way, if you enjoyed the video and you find it very entertaining, do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps us out. And what the article is saying is for the design of the entry-level AirPods, they're going to be something very similar to the current AirPod Pros, but with a shorter stem and still gives you the ability to replace the ear tips. Now, Apple's also looking to improve the battery life, but since these are entry-level, they're not going to include some of the, pro-level things like noise cancellation or any of those EQing that was found in the original AirPod Pros. Keep in mind that these still are just an entry-level device for people. So they're going to save all that good stuff for the AirPod Pros themselves, but give you a redesigned entry level to the AirPods. Now, I actually like this because one of the main issues I've always had with just the regular AirPods, not necessarily the AirPod Pros, I actually like the way those were designed, is that the regular AirPods had an issue with staying in my ear. I always had an issue with them actually staying in my ear when I was doing exercises, moving around, jogging, doing certain things like that. And I found that the AirPod Pros were a lot more sturdier and they just were designed a little bit better for me to kind of stay in your ear and be a lot more secure in the activities that you were doing. So having an entry-level AirPods and just making those the redesigned AirPod Pro type design is actually a really good idea for me because I think a lot of people really liked that design and it's a lot more stable than the design that they had. Ironically, they're not sticking with the AirPod Pro design for their successor to the AirPod Pros. According to this article, for the new AirPod Pros, Apple's aiming to make the AirPods more compact by eliminating the short stem that, sticks out currently on the AirPods. And in design testing, they're trying to make it more of a round shape. So when they're talking about more of a round shape, think something like the Amazon Echo Buds or the Google Pixel Buds or even the Samsung Buds that are out now. Not the Bean ones, the one that came before that. Think more rounded in your ear. Think more of a form-fitting device, something that's not sticking out, something that's not extending out. Now, the article also goes on to say that integrating noise cancellation, the wireless antennas, and the microphone into a smaller AirPod Pro casing is proving a little bit more challenging than Apple thought during the development. So they're hoping that they're going to get this new redesign, but don't be surprised if the final product is more familiar than you would think. Now, interestingly enough for me, again, I don't mind the design of the AirPod Pros. I don't think they really need to have to radically change the design. The stem is kind of their thing, actually. It's kind of their claim to fame. Is their standout. It's how people know you're wearing AirPods. So I don't know if eliminating the stem aesthetically for Apple is a good idea, but I guess Apple knows what they're doing. But fitting all that technology into a smaller form factor can prove challenging. So I really do hope that they're able to still get a better sound quality, include the noise cancellation and all those touch controls that the stem had, transfer those somehow into a new rounder form factor with the new AirPod Pro design that they're looking for. Again, the article did say that since they're having some issues, don't be surprised if the actual successor to the AirPod Pros looks very similar to what we have now. And I wouldn't be surprised at that either if they just go back to the drawing board and keep that original design, but still, again, have that entry-level AirPod with the AirPod Pros next to it. I guess they don't want them to look too similar to each other because it may throw customers off and customers may get a little bit confused on which one is which. I can understand that, but I don't think Apple needs to radically redesign the AirPod Pros. Now, they're hinting on the release date of the new AirPod Pros and the entry-level AirPods, so of course be next year in 2021. So they're looking at still having a time frame for development, and there's no real pricing information as of yet. I think the pricing is probably going to be about the same. If they're going to be using that entry-level AirPods, they're probably going to be eliminating the older generation of AirPods and just having that be your entry level, and maybe even just keeping the AirPod Pros at the same price. Apple's kind of done that with most of its devices this year. They're going to have that base level entry AirPods to what the current AirPods are. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think Apple does need to go with a full new redesign for its AirPod Pros, eliminating that stem, like kind of signature stem that they have, and making it a little bit more smaller, a little bit more form-fitting and rounder? And what do you think of the new AirPod Pro entry model as well? Go ahead and comment in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you think. And while you're down there, if you enjoyed the video at all, again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that bell for notification. The bell is actually pretty important because it's the only way you guys are going to know when to release some cool, helpful content like this one. Until next time, guys, you can check out some of the other videos we have up on the channel now. And as always, make sure to stay safe. And until you see you next time, peace out.